It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's fine as her and her friends. Big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the ain't no way. Somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and shoulder says to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans. Yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. If we coming like this on the intro, what they here for? If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. If this music don't work out, I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause they can't rock with us. Galaxy ain't no stopping us. They ain't trying to steal my style. I'm feeling like I just shopping. Can't trust him cause he not my cause we worried about getting figures. All my ain't father figures, just know my quick to pop it.
Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today we've got a Week 8 matchup on tap here between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First play and a first pass for Cousins. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before it's taken down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. He'll find Parker again, complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. The Vikings at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they come in riding high, just one loss in their last 7 games.
And I like the way that this team is winning football games because they're doing it the way that coaches love to preach. Penalties at a minimum because they've been very disciplined, very focused in their business.
Cousins now to throw on first down. And a little floater there is incomplete. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the Vikings who won that one on the road, so they'll look for the sweep here in Minneapolis. Lets it fly for Thielen. And this is caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that makes the score 7-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. From the gun, here's Fields. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
Charles, already trailing by touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
Fields going to get that outline to Mooney.
So they'll decline the penalty.
Perfect play for them, isn't it? Who needs a penalty? When you try and throw the ball, you don't even get it downfield, and they go ahead and snuff out the play. They'll take that as a result.
Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The big play has him all the way out near midfield for 1st and 10. Now Fields. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. They'll keep pounding here with Montgomery. Now this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. The previous run good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Fields. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
You got to know as a quarterback that's going to be tough to outthink this guy in the defensive backfield. He's been at it 11 years now, so he knows all the ins and outs of the position, and he's in the right spot there to come up with the interception.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. To throw is Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard. Well, this defense for the Bears, they were terrific a week ago in that victory over Tampa Bay, Charles.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Fourth down, Cousins. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with the football. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now a give running right is Montgomery. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss, and now it's 3rd down.
How about the job there on the outside? Shed the wide receiver and was able to make the tackle on the perimeter.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he'll be brought down shy of the first down marker at the 11. Touchdown, Bears! Juju Smith-Schuster, an 11-yard touchdown. And the Bears' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. As this offense gets ready here for this drive, Charles, you still wonder about that prior drive. Went for it on 4th down in their own territory, didn't get it, and then that led to a touchdown on the other side.
And I don't mind the aggressiveness. In fact, I'm usually a huge fan of it, but I just want teams to always weigh risk and reward. To me, too early in this game because the reward just wasn't big enough to go for it there in case they failed. Now the pressure back on their offense to pick themselves up, and they gave the touchdown that was just given.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, no, easy. 1, 2.
Here's Cousins. Though going for Jefferson downfield. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
The throw here caught by Devontae Parker. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 29-yard line. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
On play action, Cousins. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Gonzalez good on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And caught it up, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 34. A good pickup there at 22. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on first down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Cousins again. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Now Zane Gonzalez for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. Gonzalez's kick is good, and they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So able to add on to their first half lead here, Charles, forcing the miscue with a fumble and then turning that into 3 points.
Yeah, more than happy to accept any mistakes the other side is willing to make. Nope.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it, and the Vikings pick up the football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Starting to get the sense throughout the league that more of the special teams coordinators give their guys the green light to bring the ball out because everyone wants big plays to happen. I don't know if that philosophy will hold after that error there. Turn it over that deep in their own territory.
Do guys go rogue there a lot based on feeling?
I think a lot of them just sense that they can make a play and make a huge one to help their team. And they have to have that athletic arrogance about themselves. And every now and then, though, it'll cost them. And that's what we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jaquan Brisker. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
He's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Fields. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
He's going to let it go again. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Gonzalez able to tack on the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So just 8 kicks remaining here in the first half as they'll kick this one away. And not willing to risk another fumble. He'll sit on this one. It's a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And it's out. He put it on the carpet, and the Vikings pick up the football. Oh, he's got some breathing room, and he brings it back. Can you believe it? An offensive disaster on the final play of the first half.
Just had to hold on to the ball.
Well, Charles, not only did they fumble the football, but they're starting to fumble away their chances here a little bit. We've got a 3-score ball game now here in the first half.
And the last thing you want to do, partner, is help the other team with what are avoidable turnovers. You want to hang on to the football because you're already playing against a good team. You're just making it easier for them by giving them extra opportunities.
So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They look up at the scoreboard, facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive, but maybe cut into it a little bit, as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. From just shy of midfield, Fields. Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I see you reaching for the white flag. Put it down. I don't want you throwing it, but I understand why. Because if you do, you're hoping they might actually stop this game, because we're in blowout territory right now. That interception just surrendered any momentum they built up in the locker room during halftime. So, game plan, it's in the garbage. Time to try something new in this one.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play fake. Cousins. And this is caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen with a 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Vikings are able to strike. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. It's caught inside the 10. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a 1-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
From the 41, Fields. There's Mooney with another catch. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
4 yards. 1st down Bears.
Fields throwing again. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot, because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
On 2nd down, Montgomery. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. From the 50, here's Fields. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jordan Lewis. And the Vikings are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. The first play of the drive there is incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
Glad to have you with us from Minneapolis. Third quarter here, 2nd and 10. They go play action. Cousins. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
When you're a capable runner, oftentimes your quarterback coach, your offensive coordinator, they love to see you break the pocket and go ahead and take off. I think he could have gotten vertical and picked up something there. Instead, he pushed it downfield. Incomplete.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
On 3rd down, Cousins. We're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. There he goes, right side. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. Maybe a small measure of revenge for this defense because they've been thoroughly dominated so far, but a brief bright spot there with that pick 6.
Seemingly coming up for air after being dominated as you described. They get a nice play there. Probably not going to change the balance of this game, but they have to feel a little bit better about themselves after that one.
This taken in at the goal line. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Back to it after the pick 6. Cousins. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
Cousins on 1st down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big 3rd quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on. Play action now, Cousins. Throw left side, complete to Isabella. And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Again, it's Cousins. And he's wrapped up. Taken down. Back at the 25. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Cousins. That's going to be caught. Touchdown, Vikings. Isabella, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover. They want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 11-yard line.
Slot man moves right. On 2nd and 11 now. Fields escaping the pressure right. And that is going to be incomplete as he let him a bit too much. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. But defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete passer we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Fourth down, Fields has to have this one. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Bears tried it on 4th down, unable to to convert. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They'll send a receiver in motion to the left. A 1st down throw for Cousins. Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Throwing is Cousins. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Eddie Jackson picks it. And the Bears will take over here at their own 14-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete there to Smith-Schuster. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. On 1st down, Fields. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Chicago. So still throwing here in the 4th quarter with a pretty sizable lead, and now that lead even more sizable. And if nothing else here, CD, a chance to pile on some stats before this one wraps up, and he did just that.
Brandon, convention tells us it's time for them to get off the gas a little bit, right? But you and I both know the receivers don't want them to because, as you noted, this is their chance to pile on the stats. If they got their way, they try to get every single spot in the depth chart points before this game is over.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this crowd has certainly liked what they've seen. Their guys fully expected to win this one coming in, and they have not disappointed as they've got the big lead here in the 4th. That's caught inside the 20. And he's going to be marked down just outside the 10. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, and the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one. 1st down, here's Cousins. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete. The CD, they're up big, but they're still passing it. I mean, this is an offense that's had a lot of success in this game, and it seems like they're just having fun out there.
And it does feel like there's been a shift out there, doesn't it, partner? Listen, if you're up, you can continue to do what you want to do. It's up to the other team to make you change how you do things. They'll continue to throw it around until stopped.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. Well, they mentioned this week, Charles, they had a couple kinks on offense that they wanted to fix. I would say they're pretty well. Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, that is now his 5th interception thrown in this game. And, Charles, you've got to tip your cap to this defense. I mean, they have been so impressive reading these passes, stepping in those lanes, and picking them off.
Yeah, sometimes the best offense is an excellent defense, and they've done exactly that. What do you think, partner? A season's worth of highlights in just 4 quarters? I think that's what we're seeing from this group.
The tackle made back at the 44-yard line.
Throwing again on second down. Cousins. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Lets it fly for Thielen. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, they just continue to roll. And, Charles, for you and I, we want the close games, but for them, it has to be so nice to enjoy this big cushion.
I can't remember the last time we saw them play this loose and have this much fun. I think they'd love to be able to capture this game, carry it with them from week to week, and be able to execute like this in all the rest of their games.
Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And now here's another interception. Picked by Cameron Bynum. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. But to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6th one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I can go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
Throwing here, Cousins. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Third and goal for Cousins. Trying to improvise. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Gonzalez to add the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next context.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
Gets this to a standout receiver, Thomas. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to make it 4th down.
It's now 4th down.
They snap it to Fields. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Lewis Cine. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, part of this defense now with multiple interceptions in this game, but this time they say turnabout is fair play because, remember, they had a pick-6 on the other side, and now they get a pick-6 of their own.
Yeah, they actually added to some of their nice play throughout this ball game. A good effort by them to secure another interception on this one. A better effort to take it all the way back for 6. And how about an exceptional effort to match their opposition's pick-6 from earlier in this game.
And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. In motion comes the tight end left. Pick-6 last drive. Here's Fields again. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. One last throw here for Fields. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got him in. Complete. And a little bit of a consolation prize there. He's into the end zone. Won't win them the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted.
Picked off by Lewis Cine.
And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Interesting finish to this one. They get in the end zone.
Yeah.